Hello and welcome to Lowdown, where I, Chris Groves, hugely successful stand-up comedian, Catalan TV star, and third place in the Egg and Spoon race in 1982, give advice to my fans on how to survive in lockdown in Spain or wherever you are. Today's question comes from John Smith in Leon. He says, someone as funny as you is probably never bored, but can you give the rest of us some advice on things to do while stuck in lockdown? Well, to help me with this question, I spoke to Donnchadh Tiernan, an expert in boredom. And if you want to fill time in lockdown, this is the first thing you can do. You will not get bored if you have children. Most parents are dreaming of leaving lockdown and getting bored again. That would be the best.
Well, hold on. I mean, you say you don't get bored. I think you might mean that you don't get like restless, let's say. I mean, I'm sure it gets a little boring.
Yeah, there's a deep question about children. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Children fill time. Whether they kill boredom or not is a different question. It's impossible to be busy and bored. I'll admit that.
Like, you know the way in Monopoly you have your get out of jail free cards? If you could like have like a get out of your guilty conscience free card, how much would you give to just, you know, to just once per week to your children, just go, shut up, shut up.
I'd have to stop them saying it to me first. That would
Mostly I'm flitting between trying to improve myself and treating every day like a big long sick day from work, if you get my meaning. With like week one, I remember I watched a lot of movies, like a ridiculous amount of films. And then maybe towards the end of the first week, I switched to black and white movies to kind of trick myself into thinking I was learning. But I was actually enjoying them as well. So, I mean, it doesn't really count as anything. Then I just started looking at lists going, you know, 10 super pretentious French films you must see before you die. And I said, well, I could die any day now. So I started watching those, and then I switched to pretentious Japanese films, and then yeah, I'm gonna do the world over with pretentious movies, because who knows when I'll get to travel again. I really enjoyed Seven Samurai, but you'd have to have 3.5 hours to spare.
Seven Samurai, okay, yes.
That was brilliant.
Inspired the Magnificent Seven, of course. That's what that's
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I watched The Grand Illusion, a French movie about a World War I POW camp that was very good. Another one called The Lady Vanishes, an early Alfred Hitchcock one.
Oh, I love that one. I know that one, yes.
Have you seen The Lady Vanishes?
I have. Oh, yeah, I do like that one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, actually. Interesting fact about that. You know the two English fellas who were obsessed with cricket?
Yes.
And it's like this whole... I like the fact that basically Hitchcock probably couldn't have talked about the Nazis at the time, so they just make up a country in the east of Europe that's being naughty at the time. I tend to stay away from things like that, with things with a great reputation for a long time, because I'm afraid that because they're so well respected, then if I don't get them, that means I'm a dum-dum. Do you know what I mean?
Heaven forbid that anyone would suggest that, Donnchadh.
Well, no, because like I remember for years I had Crime and Punishment on my shelf, and I just didn't want to start it because it's like, if I get into this and I don't like it, it basically means I'm an idiot. One of the things that had been intimidating me on my bookshelf was Don Quixote. So I started reading Don Quixote, and I've started watching lectures about Don Quixote as well, which. Yeah, it's good. It's a bizarre book.
It is a kind of book that you feel if you start getting near the end of that, you realise you've been a long time stuck in the house.
Well, no, like I've been reading it at an all right rate, but the thing, it gets confusing because it's like I don't know. Have you ever read Don Quixote, Chris?
I have. I haven't read. I haven't read the original full version, but thought my kids have had to read it at school, and they've got like abridged versions. And one of the first books I tried to read in Spanish was like a cartoon book of Don Quixote. So I know the story.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it is often quite funny, and the character himself is quite he's quite engaging. But the same thing keeps happening to them. Basically, he keeps attacking people, and Sancho goes, "Oh no, don't do this!" And then they just get the crap kicked out of them, and then they're on the ground going, "Ugh!" And then Don Quixote goes, "Come on, Sancho, let's..." Yeah. So I've also been studying. I've also been trying to improve my Spanish. There's never that feels like a job that will never be done. I get into like bits of stubbornness with it, where, like, for example, I'm trying to learn like different subjunctives at the moment, and I just hate them. Just because, why? Why do I have to have a subjunctive? Like, it's and I, like, I feel like a teenager, but as opposed to rebelling against my parents, it's the Spanish language, and I'm like, why? Why do I have to learn subjunctives? If I just use indicative, you understand what I'm saying. You do.
I speak Catalan. Yeah, I don't speak it very well, but I do speak Catalan, and I can.
You perform comedy in it, no?
I perform comedy in Catalan, yeah, but I've discovered you don't have to actually be able to speak it that well to do comedy in a language. Well, why do communists drink herbal tea?
Why?
Because property is theft.
So, Chris, which is your favorite, communism or fascism?
Well, you see, I feel that it's a big circle. You see, so they're very close to each other.
I think they both came upon a similar aesthetic eventually, didn't they? They both dressed quite, like very spiffy now. Mind, no capitalist, no free capitalist country ever dressed quite so well as the fascists or the communists.
But ironically, it's kind of okay to say I'm going to try and try some communist fashion, and or you wear a stylish shirt and you say it's like communist. If you say it's fascist, people are not so not so okay with that. You can't really say I want to try some retro fascist.
Yeah, you can't go, ooh, very SS there. Have you ever read silly kids jokes?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, they're my favorite. The ones that make no sense. Like it all. It's like there's one I remember. It's like, how do you eat? I'm gonna do it in a funny voice. How do you win the ham eating contest? You cannot enter. You won it last year.
Thank you, Donnchadh. Yes. What have we learned from today's show? Well, firstly, Don Quixote is bizarre, and secondly, if you want to feel like you're doing something clever while you're stuck at home, well, just watch this show in black and white. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Lockdown Lowdown.